Alrighty, what's up, guys? So we're back at it again with another replay, and we are playing PK again, like always. To be honest, I will be posting more replays around both playing other decks that aren't PK in the future. Right now, I'm mainly focusing on PK as it's probably the deck I'm taking to Indie, so I need to play it as much as I can. This is another clan war. It's me versus Kai, and he's on Matchmech. He plays it pretty well. There is a moment in the game where we have to fix a game state, but we went ahead and do that, and I definitely throw that game one. But you know what? If you've seen the last few videos, you can tell that I always lose game one and come back on a grind, baby. So we go first. We start trying to combo. He's on Mathmag. He doesn't draw any hand traps, which is a miracle. Maybe he's on less hand traps than most people. We go ahead and get into that setup with the Brave Engine and going into Cherubini. We're dumping, and here we are. We're going to go ahead and summon this. Now we're making Bardiche and activating the effect before doing the Torn Skill stuff because we want to see if he nibs us before that. And then we're going in and we're just comboing, getting some more additional resources. We're actually going to end on a really, really crazy board. However, there are always weaknesses and benefits. So we're dumping Fogblade off of this, getting the Draco back, summoning the Cloak, boosting the attack, making Levy, bringing back, and then we're going to go ahead and banish the wings summon, make the Brave Sword, pop the Brave Sword, bring them back. And now we use those into an IP. Then we go ahead and grab the Shade Brigandine, and we end on Time Thief. And so our end board is double Fogblade, Time Thief, IP, and Griffin Rider with Bardiche on the board. So if one of these Fogblades goes to graveyard, we do have an extra interruption. And that's actually kind of where we mess up, but it's fine. We'll show ahead. So we went ahead and this got the spell card Small World. I'm assuming I'm playing a Math Pack when I see that. And then he imperms the Time Thief. I don't know why, but it ended up being a good idea. He forced it out there. And he goes ahead. His first thing he does is set up Lingaribo, which is one of the main issues when I play against this deck because it shuts off my Fog Blades. He starts Link climbing, and at this point, like, all I'm thinking is, wow, he's gonna probably force out several interactions here, and if the last card in his hand is gonna be a way of getting circular, he's crazy. And that's exactly what happened. So we have to sit tight and hold our timing for this exact moment. So quick pause. So I have to go Fogblade, target the Protect Doctor, so that way it can negate it, and then I can actually resolve and try to Fogblade the Axis Code Talker. Of course, he's going to chain the Lingaribo, and we're going to have to stop that Lingaribo from resolving with our Griffin, and that's exactly what happened. So we go ahead and do so. We stop it, we Fogblade, and then he goes Firewall. Firewall forces out the last interruption, and here was my fatal misplay. So I do go chain IP, and then my dumb self chains Fogblade targeting Break Sword. And this was because I was getting greedy and I wanted to keep the token for the Draco back play, but I should not have used this. I should have just used the token and simply made Unicorn bounce one card. And that way I would have been in a much better position, but it isn't what I did. I did both, and so he then goes change Protect Talker, thinking that he'll stop the targeting, but it happened before he summons it. So we do out both of them, but then he just has a way to circular. And so we should have low-key held on to that Fog Blade in the graveyard for a little bit longer and use it at a better time, but we didn't. So he does get into Super Factorial, gets into Alambertia, gets into Subtraction, and then Subtraction produces my Unicorn, and pretty much goes into GG transcode and then into terahertz. Terahertz can now attack twice, and this is why using the cloak effect matters. I literally take 79,000 damage. If I hadn't cloak effect, I would have lost immediately. And so here's the mess up. I forgot to bring back the Time Thief. This is where we're going to fix the game state, but the thing is, this caused me to just completely mess up. If I had brought back the Time Thief and remembered the Time Thief, I would have won game one. But what happens is he goes Super Factorio, and then here's where I'm going to go Chain Book to force out the negate, and then I changed Droplet. And the reason I did this is because I didn't have anything to any monster to send because you can't send the token for cost. So this kind of just sucks. However, here's where I basically do that, and then we realize, oh wait, yeah, the Super Factorial would resolve because not the Laplacian would resolve because I did book it, so it does resolve. And then we're fixing the game state here, and he ends up sending the Time Thief instead of the token. And here I pretty much lose because of that mistake, but But if I had known about the Time Thief, what would have happened is I would have actually just sent the Time Thief for a cost, and he wouldn't have been able to respond with a monster effect, so he wouldn't have been able to negate the droplets, and then I would have negated this, and the Laplation by sending the Time Thief, which means that basically I would have won because he would have not been able to respond with this or that. He wouldn't have had this in graveyard, and I would have just been better. But unfortunately, that's not what happens. Let me just confirm really quickly. Yeah, it's recording. All right, perfect. Yeah, so that's not what happens. We are bad sometimes, and we forgot to bring back the Time Thief, but it is what it is. We did fix that game state and bring it back, but it was too late at that point. I've already used Droplet, and I forgot that the Time Thief was even on the board, so yeah, we ended up losing this game because of that. I honestly forgot about the Defensor as well. So yeah, we just played that horribly, but we're going to make up for it. Don't worry about it, guys. So here we go ahead and we go Rhoda. Again, no hand traps other than the Imperm. So he might just be on a smaller build of hand traps. We go for the Brave package and we do play around the Nib. So we immediately get into the token, Faithful, Search Griffin, discard this Fog Blade, summon the Griffin, establish it as the 5th summon so we don't play into Nib. He points that out, exactly 5, lol. And then we go ahead and start playing in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Summon this. We're probably going to pitch the Draco back. We did forget to activate the Draco back effect after this. Like I said, guys, sometimes we were bad. I'm also not very used to playing on DB. This is why I'm starting off the series now on DB, and I was starting off with doing non-DB duels. And we're actually going to go for pretty much the exact same board. And yeah, we go Break Sword Pop, Summon 2, make IP, make Time Thief. And yeah, we pretty much just make the exact same board but with one Fog Blade instead. However, we have wings in graveyard, so we don't have to wait. We don't have to wait until the Fog Blade goes to graveyard. He books the Griffin. He imperms the Time Thief. I'm like, okay. I don't know why I didn't chain the Emperor. Oh, I know why, because I had Eclipse. So yeah, so this is what ends up happening. So I let him play it out, and I go Wings, pop the Circular, we stop that, then he goes Talons, takes our IP, and then he summons back to that, and then here's where we go with this effect. He's like, oh, it's negated. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. So I book, and then everything gets booked, and Time to resolve, put back my IP, and that pretty much stops his play, and I draw Dropless Return. It just didn't matter. I had too much advantage. And here's where game 3 goes crazy. He draws a pretty good hand and establishes full combo, and he honestly ends on a really good board, to be honest. So Circular, summon this, summon that, gets Super Factorial, and as you see, he's gonna have that Talents for when we go ahead and Phantasme. So we have an alright hand. I love Phantasme, being able to put back the brick, to be honest. And so here he goes combo, grabs Splash Mage, goes into Code Talker, and I was like, oh wait, no, on summon of that, draw 3/2, boom, boom. And then he talents my hand, takes out my thrust. He said nope. And I'm like, all right, it's fine. He goes transcode, brings the decoder out, makes that, goes into GG again, or G Golem, brings out the defender, transcode, makes Heat Soul. Then he's gonna go bring it back. He draws again. I guess I knew about the Sign of Conflict. I forgot that I knew about it. Maybe I did, or maybe he drew. I don't know. No, he drew into it off this. So then he ends on Firewall, Heat Soul, and we have bodies. So we attempt to establish bodies, and here's where he finally goes into Laplation. We get unlucky, but we chained this to Super Factorial. He got super lucky that he hit the Water Enchantress. He did send the Phantasm, which was smart, and so I make this to force this out, and then he forced out the negate with Water Enchantress. We go Dark. He thought he didn't have another Dark, but he did. He had the Defensor, so we bring back Defensor, make Bardiche. Bardiche is what forces out the Silent Conflict. So if he had known the deck better and held this, he probably would have won, but I was doing my best to make this come out, and honestly, like, I don't even blame him for Silent Conflicting the Verdiche, because it banishes it and it removes a body, a pop, it stops a dump and a set. Like, it seems like the correct play, but the thing is, what you gotta understand is when you're playing PK, if you got no interruptions, I got 2/3, it's game, baby. So we go ahead and boost, get Fogblade, Torn Scale, summon itself, dump, send Cloak, bring that back, special summon, make Breaksword pop the Protect Code Talker, summon 2, and here comes One Punch Man, baby. And he needs some milk. And that's game, boys.